space, let it be told. We love this space, let it be told. They shill their and it gets old. They shill their and it gets old. Gems and rocks we test and tease. Gems and rocks we test and tease. Bring the bad guys to their knees. Bring the bad guys to their knees. Sick of the Shill.
Hey, welcome everybody to Sick of the Shill. We are doing a live recording here today. Yes, it is live, but you'll be hearing the recorded version with Luc here from Medieval Empires. He's going to give us an introduction and a bit of a rebuttal for our review, which we put them through brutally a couple of weeks back. But for now, I'll let you take the stage, Luc. Why don't you tell us more about Medieval Empires and tell us why we were wrong with our scores?
Yeah, I think you're pretty accurate with your score, and I think we scored quite good. I think we got around an 8, and on the points where we didn't score that high, I think there were some mismatch on what actually we have already in the game. So happy to just walk you guys through it. Thanks, by the way, for setting this up, and also for the I listened to the whole space that you had afterwards, because it's always cool to learn from other people, like judging your project, so you know where you can work on and get better. And we also saw some points where we're like, okay, yeah, makes sense to explain it a little bit more in detail. Yeah, Medieval Empires, mid-core strategy game. You fight against invaders, as you see over here. Pretty easy to get in. And that was the first thing where you had small problems on getting in, but I think it was mostly because you forgot your passwords to your passports.
Yeah, that
because
was
we're on the
definitely
mute.
on me.
Yeah, because we got a low score on it, and I was like, okay, but maybe you should know your passwords. But yeah, so just go over here, create your account. It's Google login, Apple ID, and the cool thing is Immutable will also allow Facebook and Discord login at a certain stage. So just use your socials login, and then that's it. Download the game. For Mac, Windows, we're also on Hyperplay, we're on Ultra, we're also on GameSwift, MetaK, Meta Pro. So you name it, pick a launcher where you're familiar with, because I think a lot of stuff in Web3 is trust. So choose the launcher that you trust, or trust us directly and download it from here. And then you're good to go. Next, finish. And after that, once you did that, you're directly into the game. And then you get through the tutorial. I don't have the tutorial open because that's my account right now that you see over here. But the tutorial will walk you through the whole process on how you can build a town like this. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Like the goal is to build your town like you see over here. I didn't collect anything this morning, so we can collect all my resources that I have and upgrade some few buildings over here. So the goal is to build a big army. So first of all, you want your town to look fancy, of course, and then you start and build an army, and that's pretty simple. Like you have swordmen, for example, and if you want to build a new one, you just choose one of the ones that you have available. And now we're building a swordman. Then you have your heroes in the game, which you can build. So you can build a new hero, or you can level up some of the heroes that you have over here. For example, I can upgrade this dude. So oh no, that's a lady, not a dude. I'm sorry for that. But that way she will get stronger. And then you can also do research over here in order to get stuff faster. You can also research on the military stream over here, and then you can in the end unlock new units that you can use for your army. Then we also have like tasks that you can complete over here. So you see every day you get new tasks that you can complete, and then earn some resources, silver, and also by going through all of that, once you reach level 7, what you can also do is you have weekly events and tournaments that we have over here. So this week, for example, we have that you get points for claiming your daily tasks. The faster you claim those, the higher you're on the leaderboard. You see that I'm claiming mine pretty late, so I'm not high on the leaderboard at the moment. But it's because start of it is during my sleeping time, and I will not sacrifice my sleeping time for that. But as you see over here, for example, next week you get points by gaining prestige on the county, so that's a little bit easier for me. You can just fight all day and then be on top of the leaderboard and win me tokens, which is the native token available on Bybit. If you want to check that out. So once you've built your town, that's my town hall over here. The higher it is, the better it is. Then you go fighting, and that's what we will do now. We go to the province map over here, and you see this is my piece of land. I got that, and I got people on my land, and I forced them to pay taxes to me, which is the cool part about the game. So if you have a piece of land, you can manage your counties over here. You see those are mine, and then those tenants pay tribute to me.
And these tenants are other players, correct?
Yes, those are other players. You might familiar with some of the names if you're in Web3. I have Trekkie, for example, on here, and some of the other people that I always force them to play on my land if they start. But yeah, those are other people. They chose to play with me, and yeah, in the future you also get so you can set taxes over here. If you see over here how many taxes you can put a tax on silver, on resources. You can also define what kind of town hall level you're looking for the people that join your land. And I have a tier 4 land, for example, so people that's a little higher. Tier 5 is the highest, but that's too expensive for me. Then they can jump on any of the contracts, or you can invite them directly. So I could make an open contract, and then if they fulfill the requirements, they join. Or you can invite them directly and say, hey, come play on my land. And then you can fight together with all of the people on your land and fight those fortresses over here. Or what you can also do is fight alone against those invaders. So we attack this invader, for example, and then my army will destroy them, and I get resources for that. Since I'm pretty high already, I can send up to 4 armies over here. Just let me check. Let's take some smaller ones as well over here, and then I just go fight on the world map over here, on the province map. The other ones can also fight over here. They can also sit, as you see, in those resource encounters where they can earn resources overnight. That's what a lot of people are doing on my land over here. So most of the time they are all full, and I come too late to get into those, but that's how it works. And yeah, everything of this, like the whole thing accumulates on the world map. So as you see over here, we have the world map where this is currently the only available province that we have. That's North Ankara, and those are all lands, and you can scroll through them and see they are also all on OpenSea then, the ones that are available. This is, for example, mine over here, and this is also mine. Those are my lands that I have. And you can also scroll through them and just filter by what you're interested in looking at. And they can also show you only places where you can settle. So if you're looking for a place to settle, I could settle on those lands, for example. Let's see if there's a... No, that's it. So I have 5 lands where I could settle right now if I wanted to, but I have my own, so I'm not doing that. And yeah, later on there will be more provinces added. For example, over here at near Gulf of Alexandretta, there will be most likely the Crusaders somewhere over here. So we try to keep it historically as accurate as possible, how the Crusades happened and everything in that time. We have an historical advisor from Harvard. But I think over time that will change a little, because it's all based on how the community will also work their way up, because we will have historical battles and we will implement new factions. As I said, Crusaders, Holy Roman Empire is something that I'm really looking forward to, because who doesn't want to play Holy Roman Empire at a certain stage? And then, yeah, the goal is build your town as high as possible, do all the tasks that you have over here, build a big army, and then get on the leaderboard. You can also see the top clans over here. Those are people that have multiple lands, and they form a clan. I'm only ranked 9 because those guys, they're way higher than me. Not sure how they're doing it. They're paying their people to play, most likely. No, just kidding. And then, the goal is to be on the leaderboard, get into the weekly events that we have over here, and then just have fun playing. I suggest going to Discord, find a cool clan as well, because some of them have their own Discords as well, and coordinate their work over here. And then, the cool thing about the game is you don't need to play it all day. Like if I'm doing what I'm doing right now with you guys, just going through all my upgrades and collecting my resources, doing some fights, and then I can directly log off afterwards. If I want to, I could, of course, play also the whole day, but you don't need to. And I think that's the beauty of the game, especially for people like me, mid to end 30s or 40s. They don't have that time anymore to grind all day in such a game. So that's what we have. And by the end of the year, we will also have it on mobile, so you can continue playing on your mobile. So the same session. I already have it on my mobile, but in test flight. So we are already deep in the development. And so once you fought, you will get sent to the hospital. You can speed that up by healing speed-ups that you can get from fighting. So it's already pretty advanced. We also have referral programs and everything like this. If you're interested in something like this, we have updates every 2 to 4 weeks. So we are in continuous development. We always ship new features. You can see that also on our roadmap. And I'm not actually sure where we scored lower on your AMA or on the space. Then we could deep dive into that, and I can show you how we have it in the game. But that's the game. You have any questions?
Yeah, I do. I think there's going to be questions for the listeners, because we get a variety of listeners from non-web natives to very deep Web3. So some of the guys might have heard you saying about owning the lands. Now, when you own a land, you obviously own that NFT. That's yours. That's digital ownership. And you said you were collecting rent. Do you want to explain to the guys the taxes that you're collecting, how they can relate to what they own the land for, why it is beneficial to own a land? And also, I'd like to ask, what happens to those guys that have bought lands and they haven't, built anything on them? Can those lands be captured or taken if they leave them to sleep for too long? Things like that.
So you can't steal someone that bought a piece of land. Otherwise, I'm not sure how many people would buy a piece of land because that's pretty expensive. So what you can do is if you just bought a land, for example, and you don't want to play, you can also just set up contracts over here. So if you see on my land, for example, over here, I can just manage it. You go in maybe once a day. You see I don't have an empty slot over here. I can just make a new offer, go in here and say, hey, I want people that are at least town hall level 4. I don't want them to have an entrance fee. I say those are the taxes that I want to have. Let's go for 8%, and then just create a contract. And if you just own a piece of land and you don't want to play the game that much, I would at least go through and make new offers for people to join your land, because then you get as you see over here, you get the taxes that you can then afterwards claim. So it would make sense. You can also just own it. Sometimes we have airdrops to landlords, or they get exclusive access. We now have a Genesis mint coming up pretty soon, where they get a whitelist, for example. So there's still benefits of just owning the land, but if you own a land, I would also play, or you get someone to manage it. Once you have that, you also see you have the silver income, the ore, wood, food. They contribute to your county prestige. The higher county prestige, the more people most likely want to join. And then later on, if we have bigger fights, then it's good to have a high county prestige. And if they, once we implement the me inside the game, so far we have that still outside, but claiming function will come soon as well. Then they also get the percentage of the me token. So if you're in the on the weekly leaderboard over here and you see the rewards that we put out, there is also me tokens right now, but it's not implemented because we want to have the claiming function directly in the game. Once you claim it, they also get a certain percentage of that. So if you have good players on your land that get a lot of me tokens, you can do the math, then you will also get the percentage based on the economy. And that's a cool thing. We don't set any fixed taxes. So we can say like, hey, for example, I have pretty low taxes because I'm not a tyrant, but some people on a tier 5 land with high prestige, they might say, hey, they take 10%. They maybe take 20%. And we leave that totally up to the community. Because I think that's how good economies will work always. There will be a way where you can find it. It's also supply and demand. At the moment, we don't have the biggest supply and a lot of demand because we have some campaigns running. So whenever I open a contract, it's mostly directly settled. And you see some people charge 25% over here. Some people charge 4%. That's actually pretty good, 4%. Maybe I should join that tier 5 land over there, but I have my own land. I can't leave that. Or as you see, 5%, 7%. So it depends on like also with whom you want to play with. If you want to play, for example, over here with Da Vinci, you can go and play with Da Vinci if you want to. So he could ask higher taxes. I think 2 and 12% is pretty fair. But you need to at least be Town Hall level 17. So, yeah, that's how it works with the land in a small nutshell.
No, that's a good explanation. It's nice to know that you can actually see this from a real world perspective, that owning land, you don't necessarily have to be completely in control of it. You can allow, surrounding communities to maybe join in with you or work your land, set up contracts. So overall, like there is the investment side to this game if you see a really big future in it. I mean, that's what I look for in Web3. If I'm going to invest into a company or if I really like their game, it has to appeal to me either financially or entertainment or something historical, collectors. There's always got to be a reason. And I see you guys have done a good setup there to give multiple options to people, multiple ways to be rewarded, and that's great. That's what the community should be about. It shouldn't just be gamers. It should be more real world where anyone can participate, and I like that. That's good.
Yeah, we also will work a lot on the weekly events. There will be multiple events also just directly targeting new players as well, because often you have remaining players that, like, if it's a high value event, then often the same people are more or less on the top leaderboard. Depends on how much they grind. But we also have events where everyone can participate directly from the beginning. So once you reach level 7, which is done pretty easily, then you can be number 1 on the leaderboard. And I think that's what a lot of games are missing, that if you join as a newbie, you have no chance. Like if I join a game and I didn't play for ages, then I have no chance on earning. And that's what we try to have with the weekly events, also based on like simple stuff, like the more kills you have. Everyone can go and farm kills, for example. It doesn't matter if you're level 20 or if you're level 1 or level 7 in that case. So that's what we try. Yeah, the land that we have. And then we will have different features over time. Like we're still in open beta, so not featured complete. For that, I think we're already pretty far ahead. But there will be more events that we will have and possibilities to earn over time. But we don't want to oversaturate it as well. We want to test the features. That's why we always put it out in MVP versions. We test it over time, and then we implement it once it fits in the whole economy. And I think that's what some games do wrong. They directly come out and say like, hey, you can earn like this and that over here. And then, so we try to always test it first. We also had like over a year of testing in closed beta or in alpha. So yeah, I think the economy is pretty stable, and now we're trying to like just implement cool features that are coming, like PvP is coming. Then we have what else? Mobile by the end of the week. End of the week. Oh, that would be great. End of the year, and then we can like scale it up on a bigger picture as well.
Yeah, going mobile is a brilliant decision. Anyone in Web3 going that direction, thank you. we've been waiting so long, and I think 2024, 2025 is the year. And like you said, end of the year, end of the week would be better, but end of the year, I mean, that's still
Yeah.
incredible. Big achievement there. Congratulations on that too. I do know that we didn't have a whole lot of time, but yeah, bring up the lore. If you want to run into that a little bit, bring us to the lore. Let us
Mhm.
understand it a bit better because lore makes the games fun. Yeah, hit me with it.
Yeah. So first of all, I already have it on mobile over here. Don't tell anyone, but that's on test drive.
Ah!
So I'm already able to play that, but for testing purposes, I really love that. And yeah, lore. I mean, if you see what we have over here, let me pull up the. This is Engin Altan Düzjatan. He's pretty famous also in the eastern part of the world. He has a couple of million followers on his socials, and he's starring in a show called Ertugrul as well, which is bigger than Game of Thrones. So it's actually in the Guinness World Record book for that. And we chose him because he can carry the story, and he's fighting against Longshanks, and that's what also happens in the show and in real life. So that's based on a real life story. And what we try to have is like everyone wants to play those medieval or relive the medieval times. Like I'm a huge fan. I have a sword over here and the whole armor. I'm not sure if you saw that on social media somewhere, but so we want to bring back the whole feeling of how it would be to create an army during that time, to conquer other lands and just go through that. You can also read up on the white paper. We have a lot of stuff on the white paper about that as well. And yeah, then we have more factions that we will implement over time based on the history fact. And let me see if we have that somewhere over here on the main page as well. No, don't have it here. But yeah, you can just go through the white paper. You see how we want to build up the lore, and that will increase over time, of course. So the more factions we will implement, the lore will continue, and then we try to also implement it into the game, as you saw. That we had a character that explains you how you enter, and once you enter the game on first time, you will have Ertugrul guiding you through how to become a landlord, how everything is working. Because I think it's pretty. So normally you set a feeling already on first place if someone guides you through the start. Hey, that's the leader of the game, for example, and then. Yeah, if you start, for example, pretty soon with the Crusaders, then Longshanks will guide you through the game, and then or Isabella, for example. We also have Isabella, which is another character for the Crusaders, and then she will tell you, hey, this is how it's working, and this is how everything is going. So yeah, pretty big on that, and we have an historical advisor from Harvard as well, who supports us in accuracy as well, because we try to keep it as accurate as possible, and yeah. That's how it goes.
Incredible, my friend. I love it. I'm looking forward to getting into the game personally. So, anyone listening in or watching, Luke's going to now show you how you can find out more websites, socials, and how you can contact the guys or even their Discord if you've got questions, want to find out more, or jump in and find a guild. It looks like a fun game. I think I'll be checking it out after this call.
Yeah, pretty easy. Medieval Empires, you can go to community. We have all our links over here. Same on X. Only go through the official links as usual. Yeah, then on the main page, download or go to one of your favorite launchers over here. Create your account. Takes 3 minutes, and you're into the game, and then you can start playing.
Excellent, my friend. All right, listeners, make sure you go ahead and give them a like and a follow. They've got a lot of cool stuff coming in the future. They will be on the mobile by the end of the year. As you could see, that's going to be good times. I want to say thank you to everyone listening in. And Luke, thanks for the presentation, giving us the rundown, telling us more about medieval empires. And remember, guys, we're on every week, 8 p.m. EST, and we'll have these videos coming as they come. They won't be a part of the show directly. We'll drop them during the week and you can watch them at your own leisure. But for now, Luke, thank you so much for helping us out with all this and opening our eyes. And we'll be going in later in the season, we'll be going over your game again and giving it a totally new review after we've played it, gone through it, become a part of it. So once again, thanks for everything you're doing. And we will speak to you very soon, I'm sure.
Love it. See you around, guys. Have a good one.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.